So I got a double demo going on here today. It's kind of funny. It's a funny story. I sell Milwaukee tools, but one of the last Milwaukee tools that I purchased held off the longest in purchasing because I just felt that I could do without it, because I had my trusty corded grinder. I felt that I didn't really need to spend the money on the M18 Milwaukee grinders, and so as they kept upgrading them, I finally bit the bullet and bought the model 2880. There was a couple features that I liked about it. One is the rapid stop, and the other is it's real easy to move the guard around. Two things that always frustrated me about the old grinder. Perfect example. One, I hardly ever used the guard because it was a pain in the butt to deal with. And the second was, I'll show you. So much time wasted for it to stop before you could set it down, make your adjustments, do whatever, and pick it back up. And depending on what job you're doing, if you're grinding or cutting, it just wastes time. So with the newer model, now they got a lot of grinders, several different models. I like this one here. It actually weighs heavier even without the battery than this old Craftsman I had. But the rapid stop, and then I like the guard, like I showed earlier, turning around. Let me take this back off real quick for safety purposes. I'll get that guard back to where I want it. So it was well worth me finally breaking my old cheapskate mind and purchasing this. So I got my push mower over there draining the oil out of right now, so I'm sharpening the blades. So the second part of this, besides the grinder, is the flap wheels. As you can see with the old grinder, they're really aggressive. They made it tough for most do-it-yourselfers to sharpen a blade really good on their own. But with these flap wheels, there's some advantages to them. They're sandpaper overlapped all the way around. They come in different grits. You get them as coarse as 80 grit. This one here is a 120, which I find more useful around this shop. I like it for the blades because it puts a knife edge on it. I've already done this side here, and I'm rubbing it, and if these weren't cut resistant gloves, it'd probably shear it, rough it up pretty good. So definitely compared to the old grinders wheels, these things are a little more expensive, but they're well worth it. One of the nice things about it is once the paper wears out, it's constantly exposing new grit. Where these things here, you can tell with this one here that's clogged. And if you do aluminum work, they actually make these for aluminum, but you can even get by with some aluminum because this exposes new grit all the time, so constantly cleaning itself out. So with that said, I'll sharpen this other side real quick. Well, the other nice thing I like about this one compared to the old one is they got a really good longer paddle on it, and you can easily get the safety done one-handedly just by moving your fingers. Really nice setup. So like I said, the 120, I love it because it's not too aggressive, so you can take your time and find your angle and do a nice job. And like I said, love the quick stop because you don't have to wait for the thing to stop spinning. And there you go, got a nice sharp edge there. That's the one I did earlier. Like I said, really nice. You don't see the lines from a too aggressive of a grinding wheel. Nice and smooth. I actually sharpen my blade more now during the season because it's so much easier. Pop the blade off, do a nice job. I got the balancer over there. I'll make sure I got it balanced before I put it back on. It's hard to really get these things out of balance. You really got to do excessive grinding on one side versus the other. And unless you were to hit a couple rocks or something during the season and get a pretty good gouge in it, balancing these not usually always an issue. And if I do get too many nicks in them, I'm normally just purchasing a new blade and starting over. So once again, I believe that was the 2880-20 is the tool only. Really nice tool, well worth the purchase. This thing here will probably be in its toolbox for quite a while before I grab it again, because it's just not safe, and that thing's just so much nicer of a tool. So once again, hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe, and I'll keep them coming.